When you get home now, babe, won't you write me a few of your lines? Hey there, everybody, and thanks for joining me again today. I'm going to do a little talking about the Springfield Hellcat. When you get home now, babe, won't you write me a few of your lines? This is gonna be a consolation just to ease my worries. Now, this is a really cool gun, like I say about every gun, but this one is particularly high quality. I'm sure you've heard a lot of it. You guys have probably seen reviews about this firearm already. There's a lot of them out there. It's a really popular choice these days. Now, I got the FDE version, and I actually got the Gear-Up package from Buds when I picked this up, and I got a really good deal on it. For just a couple days, they had this right close to $500, and this is a pretty damn expensive gun. But the package that I got came with the regular concealed carry magazine, which is quite small, but you can still get a pinky on there. I got pretty big hands, and I can still get a pinky on there. It came with a different magazine bottom, which is even smaller than this one. As you can see, this has got a little bit of a lip on it. But it also came it comes with two magazines to begin with, two clips for us civilized people. And it came with 3 extra mags. The extra mags, it came with 2 of these 15 rounders, which have the little spacer on here, and they fit very well. These are loaded. The gun is not, but they fit in there nice and smoothly. They look nice. And it gives this basically a 16 round capacity. And then it came with, overall, it came with 5 mags. It came with 2 of these 13 rounders, which are just slightly shorter than the 15 rounders. So you got a lot of options. And it came with a cool little bag and a really nice case and a whole bunch of stuff. The package was really very, very nice. The gun itself is really nice. It's really high quality. It's a step above in quality of what I think a Glock would be, and it feels good. Like the trigger is really good. It's really crisp. There's a lot of really positive things about it. The serrations on the side are not overly positive, but they offer just the right amount of grip to rack the slide. The sights are really good. It came with a night sight, a tritium sight in the front, and a U sight, a white outlined U sight in the rear. And they're a little bit higher, it seems like, than on some of the competitors. It's easy to get a sight picture on this. Now, this version also has the optic mount, the optic plate, as I'm sure you can see. So it's got a lot going for it. It's a really good deal that I picked up, and like I said, it was on sale on budsguns.com for just a couple of days at the price that I got at. It's gone up now about $50 or $60, but it was a really good deal. Now, I like this gun a lot. It's got the little finger indention. It's got a pretty cool texture to it. And it just feels really good in your hand, and it's really high quality. I don't necessarily like the takedown method that it uses. It's different than a Glock, but it's not bad. It's certainly usable. All of that being said, I shoot this gun poorly. And it may just be me. I shoot a lot of guns, though, and most of them I do a pretty consistent job across the board. I've got Smith & Wessons, I've got Tauruses, I've got Glocks, I've got all kinds of different guns. Revolvers, semi-automatics, rifles, whatever. I've got a big collection, and most of them I shoot pretty consistently, and I'm not the greatest shot out there, but I'm a pretty good shot. I've had trouble with this Hellcat getting it on target as tightly as I can with a lot of other firearms that I've got. Now, to me, this is really close in size to the Glock 43 and feel as well. And I thought I would shoot it just as good, but I have not been able to. And I've put a lot of practice in on this gun. I've probably got, I haven't had it that long, and I'd had it at the range today, which is why I've got my Jeffrey Dahmer range glasses on. But I've just not been able to put it on target as easy as I have been able to. Like I said, it's tightly, it's not hard to hit the target, but it's hard to shoot as tight of a group with this particular gun for me than a lot of the other guns I've got. I've tried a bunch of different ammos, and I have found that it is, in the world of 2022 subcompact 9mm carry guns, it's relatively ammo sensitive. I've got several guns, and the ones that come to mind in the same size range, same class. For instance, the Taurus GX4 is not picky about what you feed it. It'll take anything, and it shoots a tight group, and it shoots them fast, and it shoots them easy. And to be honest, I shoot that Taurus better than I do this Springfield, which is very surprising at this point. I shoot my Glock 43 a little bit better than I do this one. Obviously, bigger guns like Glock 19, Glock 17, that's not a fair comparison because they're almost full size, or what we would call compact guns these days. So it's a little bit unfair to compare that apples to apples. But anyway, don't think that I'm hating on this gun, and it could just be mine. It could just be this particular gun. It could just be me. But it seems to like a hotter, heavier ammo better. It has shot the worst for me with Remington 115 grain range ammo. It has shot the best with literal hot hollow points. It puts them pretty much right where I think it's going to put them. But everything else, I have to aim a little higher. It's like the point of aim. It's almost like it's hitting kind of from this point instead of from the sight point like you would expect it to. So that's my take on the accuracy and the shooting of this gun. But the trigger is really good. It's not the fastest gun I've got. I'll throw some splits up here from my shot timer. I can shoot 2 or 3 other guns that I've got faster, but it's not slow. I mean, we're talking about, tenths or hundredths. We're not talking about tenths. We're talking about hundredths of a second here. So it's pretty good, and it's not broken in. It may tighten up its groups, and it may enable me to shoot it a little bit faster as time goes on. We'll see, and I'll keep you guys updated. But that's just the downsides that I've had with this gun so far. The other thing that I've noticed is at the range, now that it's cold outside, they've had the heat on the last couple times I've been in there, and I was in there today with this shirt on. You can probably see from the opening range footage that I put up there. It was pretty damn hot in there, and I was sweating. And even though the texture on the grip of this gun seems very positive when my hands are dry, it became a little bit slippery, which surprised me because I thought, man, it feels like it's very much like a sandpapery grip tape type feel to it. But it became a little bit slippery when my hands were sweaty. So there's a couple of downsides to this gun, but overall, like I said, I really like this firearm overall. The quality is pretty impressive. The feel of it is very impressive. I like using it. I like the sights. It's not the lightest subcompact out there, but it's heavy enough to where the recoil is mitigated enough to where it's fun to shoot. I mean, it really is. It's fun to shoot even with jacketed hollow points. And I came upon a bunch of hollow points for pretty cheap the other day, and so I picked up a bunch, and I've run them through all my carry guns just to, check stuff out. Most of my compact 9mm, even though I don't carry all of them. And, it's a little bit hotter than what I'm used to. I've run some of these Hornadies with the little and I can't remember what they call these, but they've got the little polymer insert in the hollow point. I've run some of those, and they're pretty hot round. And I've run some of the Liberty rounds through these. And like I said, the Hellcat seems to shoot more on my natural point of aim with the hotter ammo. With Syntech 150, the Federal Syntech 150 grain, it shoots pretty much where I want it to shoot. The 124 grain Federal, it shoots a little bit more consistent. But like I said, the Remington 115 grain, I mean, again, we're talking about, I'm used to shooting in a group about like this, and it was shooting in a group about like this. Now, if any of y'all have seen any of my other videos, and if you paid attention to the range footage that I put up already, probably, I assume that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to look into the future to my editing process. I don't generally take my time a lot. I'm not just standing there lining up shots and squeezing them off one at a time. I usually use a shot timer, and I shoot in groups, and I do little training activities, so to speak. You know, again, if you've watched many of my videos, like self-defense is certainly something I'm conscious of, but it's not always my top priority. But I kind of create some little games for myself as far as my training goes, and shooting to try to be as quick as possible, putting 3 or 4 or 5 rounds on target. So, you know, you can certainly like take your time with this gun, and I'll throw this target up right here. You can see from the top portion there, like I was taking my time with I think 7 shots at that small circle in the top, and it's pretty easy to just plow them in there, and you know, that's from 7 and 10 yards, so that's self-defense range plus a little on some of those, and it was doing very good with that. So it's not necessarily an inaccurate gun, but shooting it fast from a relaxed position and bringing it up and cracking them off as fast as some other things, it's you know, it's different. So anyway, that's my take on the Springfield Hellcat. I think it's a great gun, Springfield Armory. It feels really good. If you can check one of these out in the store and pick it up, I think you'll agree. Like it's a damn good feeling gun. And if you can get that Gear-Up package, again, it comes with 5 total mags. This is the one that I think it comes with without the Gear-Up. But 15 plus 1, 13 plus 1, and the stock mags are 11 plus 1. So you've got a lot of capacity with that little package. You get some cool stuff. It comes packaged very nicely, very professionally. It was in super good shape when I got it, and wasn't a scratch on it. And even though I've put several hundred rounds through it, the finish has held up very well. There's very little wear on the barrel. It's a really solid piece. And so if you're out there shopping for this, keep that in mind. I think, honestly, a Talon grip wrap on this would probably enable me to shoot it significantly better, because it's got a very thin grip to it. It's very thin, and I have a little bit of trouble getting a good handle on it, I guess, so to speak, coming from a rest or coming out of the holster. And now, speaking of holsters, if you guys have watched any of my other videos, particularly on the LCP Max or LCP2, I've been a big fan of these Polecraft holsters, which are cheap Kydex holsters. It's just a really basic brand, and you would think that they kind of suck just like all the rest of them. But again, really good, solid inside the waistband carry holster that works really well for me. Adjustable, cant there with the clip. The clip is all plastic, but mine have held up really well. And adjustable tension. It's a good gun. It's a solid piece. So check that out if you've got a Hellcat. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank all of y'all for watching my videos, and we'll see you out at the range. I'm on the call of Charlie. my baby girl's over there. Yeah, I'm gonna call up Charlie. See my little girl's over there.